Welcome to a special New Year's Eve edition of Here's What, where I'm going to be covering everything that happened in 2016 and looking forward to what is to come in 2017. So, 2016 was a huge year for WWE, so we're just going to get right into it. There's a lot of big debuts this year for NXT, with the exception of AJ Styles, who did not go to NXT, went straight to the main roster, but we had Shinsuke Nakamura, Samoa Joe, Austin Aries, Bobby Roode, Roderick Strong, all the former TNA talents. We even had Eric Young, and also the Club, Gallows and Anderson. Who else are we going to see in 2017? I don't know. I'm hoping we see more former TNA talent. TNA had a fantastic roster at the point where all those men I just mentioned were on it, so looking forward to that. Also this year, we had a lot of new titles introduced with the brand split. SmackDown was left without a women's title and a tag team title. So SmackDown now has the SmackDown Women's Championship, which is currently held by Alexa Bliss, and the SmackDown Tag Team Championship, which is currently held by American Alpha. Now Raw, not to be outdone, also has the new Universal title after Dean Ambrose, who was on SmackDown at the time, was the champion, went over to SmackDown with the title. They didn't have, obviously, a main champion. We can't have that. Universal Champion, which was initially Finn Balor. We all know he got injured, and now Kevin Owens is your Universal Champion. And we got rid of the Divas title, which I'm going to talk about again in a little bit. For the Raw Women's title, quite a back and forth. Your current champion is Charlotte. Now, two other titles that were introduced in the form of, well, one of them was already introduced, one of them is going to be. We have the Cruiserweight Championship, which is currently held by Rich Swann, and again, was initially won by TJ Perkins after he won the Cruiserweight Classic. And the UK title, which, as I've said, is not here yet. It was just introduced. That's going to be happening in January. It's the same thing as Cruiserweight Classic, where there's going to be tournament matches to determine who is the winner. Now, as I mentioned, NXT, big year for NXT talent. With the draft, allowed them to debut, on Monday Night Raw and SmackDown. The biggest, I think, being Finn Balor finally coming to the main roster. Unfortunately, again, as I mentioned, was injured. But we also had Bayley, probably the other biggest call-up that we had, coming to Raw. She's currently challenging Charlotte. Hopefully she's going to get her title shot one day. Not to be outdone, we also have Nia Jax, who is also on Raw. She's been making a big impact. Alexa Bliss and Carmella, both on SmackDown. Alexa, as I have said, is your current women's champion. Carmella has really stepped up her game since leaving NXT. And, of course, American Alpha, who just won the tag team titles on SmackDown. In a surprise, I think a lot of people were surprised. I certainly was. But nonetheless, happy for them. They definitely deserve that. Now, we're going to... Now on to former talent who have returned this year. Not the young guys, the older guys. We had Goldberg, I think, was the biggest surprise of the year. I got to see him live when they were in Hartford. The feeling is just amazing. Like, you can't even describe it, just being there, the atmosphere. It's great. He's not done. Although we all thought he was done. He is coming back. And I believe not the first Raw, but the next Raw of 2017, so that is exciting. The other biggest in return of the year, in my opinion, was Shane McMahon. Everybody, I think, was surprised by that. Nobody saw that coming. He's now the commissioner of SmackDown. Fought The Undertaker at WrestleMania. That was a huge surprise. And then we had, Rhino, Mick Foley, and Mickie James. Rhino is currently on SmackDown. Mick Foley, although he's made a lot of returns, again, not something I saw coming. He is the Raw general manager. Now, Mickie James fought Asuka. She lost, but she fought Asuka at TakeOver in Toronto. I believe she is coming back. I'm not sure, but I think she'd be a great addition to the Raw or SmackDown roster. So we're going to have to wait and see about that. And we also had some retirements, which was actually husband and wife. Daniel Bryan was forced to retire. And Brie Bella retired. Now Brie is pregnant. Daniel Bryan is the general manager of SmackDown, so obviously we would have loved to have seen them both continue to wrestle, but life is working out pretty well for them. Now, the other retirement wasn't a person, it was a title and a name, actually, Divas. retired the word diva. Women are now known as superstars, and as they should be. The divas, it was just long gone. It wasn't needed. These women have proven that they are more than, what diva embodied, and they are superstars. And so with that, we got rid of the Divas title, which is now the women's title, which again, Charlotte currently holds. And that all had taken place at WrestleMania. Huge WrestleMania this year. Oh, Roman Reigns. Big year for him. We also had that little moment with Shawn Michaels, Mick Foley, and Stone Cold Steve Austin with The New Day. Speaking of The New Day, their entrance, amazing. They're always just amazing. And so next year's WrestleMania's got a lot to live up to, because I think this past WrestleMania was pretty fantastic. We also had The Undertaker and Shane McMahon in Hell in a Cell. Shane McMahon proving that he still got it. Obviously, he never lost it. Also at Mania, we had Charlotte, Becky, and Sasha continuing to prove their dominance and showing why they deserve to be on WrestleMania, why they deserve to be main eventing pay-per-views. The three of them, all of the women's division, but Becky, Charlotte, and Sasha really had a fantastic year. I definitely see more coming from them in 2017. And we also had Sting finally being inducted into the Hall of Fame. He belongs there. You can't argue with that. We just know Sting belongs there. Now, there were other moments this year, big moments this year. Finn Balor, as I mentioned, finally came to Raw, earned a spot in, sorry, hair in my face. He finally earned came to Raw, earned a spot in the title match for the Universal Championship with Seth Rollins at SummerSlam. He won. Unfortunately, he was injured in that match, had to relinquish the title, which now belongs to Kevin Owens, as I have said. It was, obviously you don't want to see anybody injured, but especially this particular match. He just won a title, first pay-per-view on the main roster. It was just, not a good moment. But as I mentioned, it's been a great year for Kevin Owens. The past 6 months have pretty much been the Kevin Owens show, which he will tell you is a good thing. Now that's on the Raw side. SmackDown, James Ellsworth, guy came out of nowhere and has had an amazing year. He's living his dream. He probably doesn't care, what happens in 2017, because he is living his dream right now. I'd kind of like to see other people get their chance to shine on SmackDown, but the guy's living his dream. Like I said, you can't fault him for that. We had 2 big losses this year. First, Brock Lesnar lost to Brock Lesnar lost to Goldberg in less than 2 minutes. It was insane. I think I speak for everybody when I'm shocked. There's no other way around that. He's not happy. There's going to be a rematch somewhere down the line. So Goldberg better watch out. And we had the New Day losing their titles. It's weird for them to not be champions. I just feel like it's just strange going into a new year with New Day not your champions. They did defeat Demolition's record, so they are the longest reigning tag team champions in history. However, your current tag team champions are Cesaro and Sheamus. That was kind of a shock this year, but nonetheless, the tag team division was definitely shaken up with that. And finally, we had the draft. Obviously, that happened in July. It's happened before. I was kind of curious how it was going to be handled this time. Raw has its good points. SmackDown has its good points. Not everything's perfect. But they were pretty much evenly drafted. And I would like to kind of see things get shaken up in 2017. But again, we're going to have to wait and see. Now, this is usually the point in the show where I would tell you who you need to be watching and who WWE should be signing. We're just going to talk about today who is going to have a big year in 2017. And again, the theme for this entire show has pretty much been NXT taking over. No pun intended. Finn Balor, when he returns from his injury, which should be soon, because if you follow him on Twitter, he's been rehabbing really hard and he really wants to get back in the ring. I believe he's ahead of schedule. So whenever we see him, which hopefully will be within the next few months, he is going to have a massive 2017. He will be coming for his Universal Championship, which he never lost, technically. So whoever is the champion, whether it be Roman Reigns, Kevin Owens, or somebody else, Finn Balor is coming. Also, we're going to stick to the Raw side. Bayley, again, just came up from NXT. Huge in NXT. She's going to be huge on the main roster. Watch her in 2017. Her and Charlotte. Hopefully WrestleMania, because that's where the two of them belong. Nonetheless, Bayley is going to have her year in 2017. And again, on Raw, Enzo Amore, Big Cass. I can see them winning the tag team titles. I think they're kind of feuding with Rusev right now and everything's funny, but they're going to set their minds where they should be on the tag team title division. The tag team title, sorry. In the title division. They're going to get in the running. So watch out for them. Now on SmackDown, Alexa Bliss, who is currently your SmackDown Women's Champion, has only been wrestling for 3 years, I believe. She debuted in 2013. She's gotten so much better. She has improved so much, and I can see her ruling the women's division on SmackDown in 2017. Okay, I don't know how many times I've said 2017 today. I feel like it's a lot. That is all. This is your last Here's What for 2016. I will be back tomorrow to do a regular edition of Here's What, which is the first one of the new year. Have a great new year. Please be safe. Don't drive if you're drinking. Stay safe. Happy New Year, and I will see you in 2017.